This is a really awkward opening. I just thought that my dog had unplugged the computer, and my computer doesn't do very well unplugged laptop. And so I was going to start over, but now I feel silly because I had that awkward pause, and I really don't want to start over, so I'm not going to. So welcome to Exchange Student in Fiverrland. I'm Mary Gale, on Ravelry, and I actually just signed up for Plurk, even though I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm pretty sure I'm Mary Gale on Plurk too. Happy Monday, yay! Most people are sad that it's Monday, but I'm glad that we made it through the weekend because our weekends here are so crazy. What's going on with my hoodie here? Yeah, happy President's Day too. I feel like I always come to you when it's a holiday. First it was Groundhog's Day, and then it was almost Valentine's Day. We have a lot of holidays, don't we? Happy President's Day. What would normally be a no school holiday for us is a go to school day because of so much snow. We only allotted for 4 snow days here in Nashville, and I don't know how many we have. I should know that, but I don't. We had more than 4. And they're trying to figure out a schedule so that they can get more days in before the TCAP, which is the state testing. So they had them go to school today. They are shortening spring break, which spring break was a week and a day. So Friday through the following Monday they had off, and they're going to school on Friday. And then they're talking about, here are the 3 choices they have. They're giving us an option. Either the next Monday of spring break, so then they'll only have Tuesday through Friday off, or a Saturday after spring break. Like, spring break is starts March 12th is the Saturday that they would start, and they're thinking of going to school on a Saturday in April to make up for one of the snow days. And then the other option, which I think is the stupidest option, is to add 30 minutes of school to the school day, like 30 minutes a day for, I think it's like 10 or 11 days of school, which I just think that's ridiculous. Especially, like, for elementary, you can add a half an hour and get some stuff done. But for middle school and for high school, when they're changing classes, that's just going to mess things up, and it's going to be a waste of time. So, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to school, so it doesn't matter to me. Anyway, happy Monday, which is a holiday, but not really a holiday around here. I've decided I'm going to start recording on Mondays because it makes the most sense. And also, a lot of the other video podcasts that are out there tend to post later in the week, and so I thought giving you something. The Knit Girls comes out on Sunday night / Monday, and I think most of the other ones come out later. I might be wrong, which happens a lot. But anyway, I thought maybe if I came on Monday, it would give you something to look forward to, or at least give me something to look forward to at the beginning of the week. Here is what I'm working on. I have my Family Jewels Mystery Knit Along, which I think it's funny when I'm watching a video podcast and the same thing is happening in their neck of the woods that's happening here or somewhere else. Like, for instance, last week I thought it was hilarious that JD of Twisted Strands and Erin of Mommy Needs Yarn both said the word penis. I just thought it was really funny because they didn't talk about it beforehand, but they both had weird penis episodes. Anyway, JD and I are both working on the mystery sock knit along. And we need to get it done. She's doing one at a time, and I think she'll probably get done. I'm not sure if I will get done because I haven't had much time to work on them, even though these are the ones that I knitted on furiously for a good day or two, and then I had to set them aside, and I'll show you why in a little bit. And then another thing that I'm working on that has gotten no love, as I'm making a pair of just generic regular socks for my 7-year-old son Connor. I made socks for Josh, my husband, out of the same yarn, so I thought I would make some for Connor. And another, I thought it was funny because I watched the Knit Girls this morning, and Leslie is working on a pair of plain stockinette socks too, and she said that she's only allowing herself to knit continental style on them, which is what I have done so far, and another reason why they're so short, because I'm trying to teach myself continental, and I get the gist of it. I just need to practice to get my fingers to learn how to remember how to do it every time. And so I cast these on thinking, oh, I'm only going to do continental style with them. And then I decided maybe I don't need to learn or master continental style yet, because it's keeping me from knitting these, because I want something that I can just work on and not pay attention to, and I can't do that with continental yet. So that was another thing I thought was funny, because little things amuse me. Like, why does my hoodie keep falling off me? Okay. And of course my husband's scarf has not grown at all. My pictures are still not on the wall. And obviously he's not watching my podcast, otherwise he would see that I keep saying over and over again. Maybe he just doesn't care because I keep telling him over and over again to hang my pictures too. He's a really good guy. I love him a lot. He just won't hang my pictures. And then, the reason that I don't have that many of my projects, the reason not very many of my projects have much done is because of these socks. First of all, these are, oops, held them up wrong. These are the socks that I had so much trouble with last week, starting with having to buy different yarn. Another thing that was similar, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. There's another video podcaster who used the same yarn as I did and said how much she hated it, and I can't remember her name, but I will look it up and I'll share some love with her. Anyway, first I had to change the yarn, and then second of all, I couldn't understand how many to cast on, and thank you so much for all of your help. So many of you were leaving me comments or sending me PMs and helping me so that I knew how many to cast on and why, and I understood that I'm using a different size yarn. I'm not using actual sock yarn. I'm using sport weight Burnett Satin Sport, because I couldn't find any solid purple sock yarn. They're all stripy, which I love stripy, but I needed solid purple. And so I understand I'm using a different size, but I thought that if I just matched my gauge and did the same number of stitches per inch, it would come out right. But anyway, what I ended up doing was I cast it on 64. My mother-in-law has about a size 8 foot. This yarn does not stretch at all, and it's got some cabling. It's not too many cables in there, but I guess it's enough to not give it much give. And I tried so hard. My foot is bigger than my mother-in-law's, but I figured I could put it on and try it and see. It'll be a little tight, but it'll still work. I tried it on just after I turned the heel, which isn't that pretty. It's turning out pretty. I turned the heel, and it took me a good 5 minutes to get it on. I took a picture. I'll put a picture up. But I'm not going to try them on again, so I don't know if they'll be the right length as far as the foot goes, but just because there's no stretch in the yarn, it was painful, and the little like restrictive, like I was claustrophobic in my own foot. And so I don't want that to happen again. And I hope that her foot is enough smaller than mine that it'll turn out. I just realized that I pulled the whole needle out while I was showing you. Oh, that's nice. That's okay. More practice for fixing mistakes. As far as my opinion of toe up versus cuff down, I've made probably about 5 or 6 pair of toe up socks, and I love them. They're easy. I do find that I get ready for them to be finished, and so I can make the cuff a little bit shorter if I want to. But with toe or cuff down, obviously I can't do that, and it's driving me crazy because I'm ready to be finished and I can't cut any corners because I haven't even got to the toes yet. I can do cuff down and I'm not scared of it anymore, so that's good, but I still think my preferred method is going to be toe up. And also with this yarn, because it's bigger and I'm using a little needle and it's tight, I got a little injury on my finger. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. It's a crater in my finger and it hurts. And I was using a Band-Aid over it, and since I took a shower, I took the Band-Aid off and I didn't replace it, and then I started knitting again and said some swear words. So anyway, those are my socks. I'm ready for them to be done. Oh, I never explained why. These are called the pink ribbon socks for breast cancer awareness. My mother-in-law has had breast cancer. She's a survivor. She also had lung cancer. And she has this tattoo on her arm that's the ribbon, and half of it is pink and half of it is purple. And so when she was explaining it to me, I thought she said it was purple because purple is the color for lung cancer awareness. But it's not. White is. And so I went in and I bought the purple sock yarn, or purple, supposed to be sock yarn, and thinking that I was, supporting her lung cancer awareness. Turns out she did a purple because she couldn't see white on a tattoo very well. So I guess in our family, purple is lung cancer awareness. But anyway, when she had surgery, they went through her throat, and this is secondhand because I didn't talk to her about it, Josh did, but they hurt something in her throat and she's had a hard time recovering from it. So she's going to the Mayo Clinic in a couple weeks, and that's why I'm trying to get the socks knitted furiously for her so that she can have them to wear to the Mayo Clinic, even though it's kind of a silly idea because she's always hot, so she probably won't even want to wear them, but that's not the point. So anyway, those are my socks. I'm ready to move on. I don't want to talk about them anymore. I just want them to be done. Here are my finished objects. I got finished with my long dishcloth, and I love it. The only problem is it's not two-sided, so I have it hanging up in the bathroom, and then every once in a while when I go in there it'll be flipped over because the kids have used it, which they've used it quite a bit, and it's still white. I'm impressed. But I really like that, and I'll probably do the same thing again, making a bigger one to match. And then because I needed something to be finished and I was tired of the socks, but I knew I needed, look at that. Maybe I'll just take it off. I knew that I needed to work on my socks, but I also needed to get something finished, otherwise I would be really, really bored. I made this iPhone cord cozy. It's not really, it's an iPod, I guess, not iPhone, because the directions show how you can break so that you don't get over the speaker or the volume button, but these are just generic orange cords to match my orange iPod. And with this one I learned how to do an I cord, which I was a little intimidated by, and then it turns out it's really super duper easy. And the directions called for double pointed needles, and I was like, oh, whatever, double pointed needles, I can use magic loop. I can do magic loop for anything. But it turns out it's only 3 stitches, so magic loop was kind of silly. So I did do it with the double pointed needle. And you work from the top and then down to where it connects, and then you can either stop there and make a whole nother one, or what I did was I just continued up to the other ear, and then I made a second piece from the connector down to the bottom. One thing that I did change with it was my connector. I don't know if I haven't compared it to the iPhone cords, but my connector was really big and I kept getting laddering because you only cast on 3 stitches, and so it was too wide, and the whole back loop was a ladder. So I decided to magic loop it instead, and I think I cast on 7 until I got down to the flat part, or past the, I don't know, whatever this little bumpy thing is. When I got past that, I decreased down to 3 and then made I cord down to the bottom. But I really like it, and it's supposed, not only is it cute, but it's also keeps your cord from getting all tangled. And apparently Connor, my son, likes it too, because this morning when I woke up, I found this on my knitting chair. This is his, and he asked me if I would make him some. He asked how long it would take. He needs to know those things. He is he's really into Harry Potter. We started reading it together. It's been a while. It was, I think, the beginning of the summer. We started reading the first book, and now he is getting ready to start book 5. If I can, I have to go to the library and get one, or the used bookstore. McKay's in Nashville, awesome. I just haven't had a chance to get over there. But he's ready for book 5. But then on top of that, he wants to listen to Harry Potter, and I just thought he was going to listen to book 5, but no, he wants to start all over with book 1. So that's what he's been doing. He stayed up late last night listening. He's on, I think, on chapter 5 of the first book, which, I mean, if he's gonna stay up anyway, might as well be listening to Harry Potter instead of playing a video game. On my iPod, I've been listening to the Hunger Games trilogy. I can't remember I'm on the last book. It's really good. Mockingjay is what the last book is called. And it's the premise of Hunger Games. It's morbid, where they they have 12 districts, 13 districts, but only 12 of them have to send a boy and a girl to the big center of it's like an arena once a year, and they fight to the death. So whatever district wins is the victor for the year, but everybody else dies. It's very morbid, but it's very interesting, and I like it. I finally finished Avatar, which my review for Avatar is, I don't understand why everybody loved it so much. I mean, I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. I enjoyed, it's so pretty. I obviously didn't watch it in 3D, which I don't like 3D movies. They drive me crazy. First of all, they charge way too much for you to go see a movie in 3D. It's ridiculous. I went to see, I can't remember. It's a cartoon with a little dog named Bolt. Maybe the cartoon's called Bolt. I don't know. With Connor. Connor and I went by ourselves, and it was like $25, and that was almost a year ago, if not more, and that's ridiculous. And second of all, I have a hard time getting into the 3D part, so it's just a waste, and it really irritates me that so many cartoons are coming out in 3D, because now everybody thinks that they have to go or everybody, my kids, think that they have to go see it in 3D, and I just think that's a waste of money. We might as well wait till it comes out on DVD. It'll be cheaper, and I don't have to wear those stupid glasses. Anyway, Avatar. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was my favorite movie of all time, like everyone seems to say it was. And it took me a long time to get into it. Like, I watched the first part probably 3 times, which is not always an indication of anything because I fall asleep really easily. But, I think that's it. I don't really have much else. As far as in my little world, I've been trying to get a job, and I came somewhat close this last week, only to be shut down. What it is, I am licensed. I got my teaching license in Indiana. I'm licensed first grade through 8th grade, with a science endorsement for 9th grade in Indiana. And then when I was teaching at my private school, I never got my Tennessee license because it wasn't required, and I had my Indiana license. But now that I'm in Tennessee and I'm looking for a public school job, I had to get my Tennessee state license, which was a little bit of an ordeal. Not horrible. Now that it's over. When I was going through it, it was horrible. But anyway, I have my Tennessee license, and that translates to a K through 8 teaching license, which is perfect. I've always taught middle school before. The youngest I've taught is 6th grade, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And the problem lies in the No Child Left Behind rule or law, that I have to have a certain test passed in order to be called highly qualified. So even though I have the license, I also have to be highly qualified. I'm highly qualified K through 6, which I've decided I love teaching junior high. I love 7th and 8th graders, but I've never had my own classroom. I've always had kids coming in and out of my classroom, changing classes. I've never had my own little group of students, and I really want that. And also, to teach 7th and 8th to become highly qualified, I need to take another test, which is $109 to take the test, and have to pass it. And that's only given at certain points throughout the year, like 4 times a year maybe. So I'm already highly qualified K through 6. That's what I want to teach anyway, so I'm not even going to worry about becoming highly qualified for 7th and 8th. Besides all that, since I just got my Tennessee teaching license, the state law says as long as I'm licensed to teach for a grade, so for instance, since I'm licensed to teach 7th and 8th, I have a year. I'm considered highly qualified for a year, for all intents and purposes. So I don't have to take the test for a year. So all that, I'm looking for a teaching job, and I finally, getting a teaching job in the middle of the year is hard because teachers sign contracts saying they're going to be there till the end. And so I could get a sub position, but don't get me started on that. That's completely different. So to get an actual teaching job is difficult. There's not very many listed. But I did find one listed for a 7th grade science position that would start in March. And I'm like, woohoo, I can do that. I can do 7th grade science, and it'll be perfect. I can have a job, which I really miss, being in the classroom. But also financially, obviously that will help a lot. And the hours, if I can get a job for teaching, the hours are perfect. I'm just worried that I'm not going to find a teaching job. I'm going to have to go out and get another job, which is fine. It's just I'm worried about the hours and being able to be around my kids. But anyway, the specific school district that I found the job in said that they don't follow the state guidelines, and they require me to be highly qualified in 7th grade before I can teach. So, shut down. long story, I'll say that I still don't have a job. And I was also disappointed this week because I work at a restaurant on Sundays, and I've worked there forever. I used to work full time, and then I cut back, and anyway, one of the girls quit, and rather than hiring me, they called somebody else that used to work there, and hired him full time. And I said to the manager, I said, why did you give that job? Why didn't you give me that job? Because I'm a really good server, and I didn't understand. I was like, well, why? And he said, oh, I didn't even think about it. I didn't know that you were looking for a job. I'm like, hello, I'm unemployed. Why would I not be looking for a job? I don't know. Anyway, it was a disappointing week as far as that goes. But I'll find something, and yeah, that was my week. One good thing though is I am on iTunes now. I'm not sure if I have it set up in the right category, but if you do look for exchange student in Fiberland, it should be there. And I'm, like I said earlier, I'm on Plurk, but I don't understand what I'm doing, and it disappoints me because I feel really old. I feel like when I was younger and my mom wouldn't understand something, I'd just be like, what is your problem? Just do this, you're done. Now it's me. Like, why isn't stuff coming to me? Like, why is it so hard? I understand, like, I guess, I don't know. I don't understand how to work Plurk. It's like Facebook, I guess, where you need friends, and I don't really know anybody personally who knits. But I did try to make friends with some people, because I guess Facebook wouldn't be fun if you didn't have any friends, so maybe Plurk isn't fun if I don't have any friends. But I like to become obsessed with things, so I probably would like it. And I'm still watching Quantum Leap. I'm on the season 4, and they came up with some really good ones this season where Sam leaps into I just lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was gonna say, but they have some really good, like, they just came up with, rather than just randomly leaping into places, they leap into, I don't know what I was gonna say, but, oh, I know, Sam, the one that's usually a hologram, this one of the episodes, he was the one that leaped, and Al, who's usually the hologram, leaped, and Sam became the hologram and got to go home, which I thought was really cool. And I'm looking forward to that, watching more of that, but I've been distracted by all the video podcasts. I haven't been watching as much Quantum Leap because I've been watching so many other video podcasts, and they're interesting. And I'll list all the ones that I know of on my show notes so that you can watch that and be distracted from other things as well. Thanks for coming. Thanks again for all your help with the sock. Oh, I forgot to mention Kira's sock, the one that I needed to rip out. Someone wrote to me and told me don't snip, which I didn't. I was able to find the end and I unraveled it. Now I just need to figure out how to bind it off. I haven't really looked into it yet. Like I said, because of these stupid purple ribbon socks, which are beautiful, but I'm ready to be done with them. Okay, I think I'm done. Thank you so much for coming by, and I will see you later. Bye.